Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are in Limsa in front of Alka-Solka to do our level 80 Scholar quest. True Beauty. If it isn't Serenia in the flesh. Been quite some time, hasn't it? Rashad keeps me apprised of any tales of her heroism that reaches her ears, and I must say, they never fail to inspire me to reach for greater martial and tactical height. I've thus been seized upon every opportunity to own my skills, be it through employment or study. In fact, I have an appointment with Surito Carito shortly to review Mariner's stratagem for securing thoroughfares and byways. Would you care to join me? Sure. Excellent. It will be a pleasure to train alongside you again. I shall meet you at Camp Bronze Lake. Surito Carito awaits us there. It's just like old times, isn't it? My, what a pleasant surprise. I was unaware that you would be joining us today. Heavens, is that Serenia I spy? Toto, a true pleasure to see you. Have you come for the exercises as well? Of course, it may have been well over a millennium ago that I began my studies, but I'm still a student with much to learn. Though I'm somewhat hampered by the small matter, but it's my inability to summon a fairy while strapped in this grotesque form. You're hardly grotesque, my lady, and I'm confident there is some way you might once again call forth a fairy. We need only find a way to tap the royal marine spirit within you. Come hell's or high water. I am... Let us hope you're right. Doubt not that he is. But first, given how rare this opportunity is, might I suggest that we begin by asking Serenia to regale us with tales of her recent endeavors? There's much we might learn from them. Lamitt's journey. Lamitt and Pangiot, I'm so proud of them. Lamitt's strive to save her sister, no matter what it cost her. It reminds me of father. I can scarce believe he traveled to another world entirely. Were it anyone else, I would doubt the veracity of their words, but I can only envy you. You must have gained much insight into the nature of our own star. The concept of Stoneblight fascinates me. Highly contagious, transforms the body. I cannot but draw parallels between it and the Nymean plaque. What were you able to discern about the magic utilized in curing it? Perhaps the application of a high concentration of ether. But how? Might crystals serve to amplify? Assuming so, Careful with that knife, It may work. The similarities of Stoneblight to our own affliction, this may well be the key to a cure for the Nymian plague. You mean to say that my body and my ability to cast healing magic could be restored? Precisely. It will be a complex process involving trial and error, of course, but I assume you're... And back to Surito. I believe this was the first job quest of level 80 that actually forced me into a fight. But for a healer, right? Root. Thank you. I expect this will be sufficiently potent. Now we need only await Alcazolka's return and... Apologies, I only just escaped. I'm acquainted with a goldsmith of some repute, and he agreed to fashion the instruments in return for my massaging him with salamander oil. Again. That would be Godbot. However, the goods themselves should be more than adequate. Oh, they're a bit oily, but presumably that will come off. In any case, we can prepare the compound at any time. However, the matter of what follows is problematic. Problematic? In what sense? Though I'm firmly confident in my theory, the experimental compound is just that. Experimental? I did say before that this process would involve trial and error. As the Nymian plague does not affect beasts, to test it on any but a tonberry is impossible. Yet, as its ingestion will result in disruption to the body's ethereal balance, there is a possibility that the subject may find himself worse off than before. I have no intention of inflicting such a fate on any of my brethren, naturally, and so, should I be warped beyond recognition as a result, the task of destroying me will fall to you. You cannot honestly believe you would agree to that. What if you were to test it on me instead? Absolutely not. You heard what he said. The test subject might very well become a monster. I'm prepared to take the risk. But I'm not prepared to let you. So you'd rather Surito Carito do it? If a test does fail and he becomes some sort of abomination, who would remain to continue researching the cure? It follows that I ought to be the subject. And I'm supposed to accept that? It's not your choice to make. Please, calm yourself. The admixture will take some time to prepare, in any case. We can discuss this later, when we all have the opportunity to think. Fine, I will do my thinking elsewhere, if it's all the same to you. I don't understand. I'm merely trying to prevent her from placing herself in harm's way. I believe you too would be well served by a reprieve. Perhaps a bit of exercise. If you insist. It would be far easier if we were honest with one another. As you doubtless are aware, Surito is quite enamored with Alcazolka. She seems disinclined to pursue the matter, however, her current condition being what it is. Though she raised a salient point, I would not have her volunteer if her primary goal is to remove that perceived obstacle. For Alcazolka to be forced to slay her, only to later learn what it was all for, it doesn't bear thinking about. Might you go and speak with her? I expect that she's fuming somewhere near Outer Lanacea. She has a tendency to wander when she's distressed. I apologize for my earlier conduct. I have no intention of changing my mind, though. My logic is sound. It is, but are the reasons you gave truly why you volunteered? Oh wait. Ah, I see. Since it's come to this, yes, I'm in love with Alka-Seltzer. Maybe, were things different, I could be content with that. If we might walk hand in hand without drawing the attention of every would-be hero within 10 miles. If my compatriots were just as free to pursue their own happiness. As it is, however, his insistence upon protecting me above all else, it chafes. I'm no fool. I know that others, Alka-Seltzer included, are stronger than I, and I'm not proud as to refuse aid on principle. But it's not enough to merely live insulated from harm. I've always wanted to help people. Now more than ever, knowing firsthand the terrible toll this blight takes on all of us. It's not simply my own desires that make me so adamant. Truthfully, there's no more suitable subject on whom the cure might be tested. I had not yet seen 20 summers when I was afflicted, so if it has unanticipated effects, my body will be best able to bear them. Moreover, I was one of the last to fall to the plague before we entered our lengthy slumber, meaning my illness is less advanced. If this potential cure shows results, they will be present in me most quickly. To say the thought that it could fail does not frighten me would be a lie, yet if there's a means by which I might save my people from suffering, I cannot ignore it. You follow the path of a scholar. You understand, don't you? Yes, I think I know the feeling. Thank you. Talking this through with you has helped to clear my head, I believe. I'm ready to speak with the others. I finished running through Sergeant Holger's 1,000-step training regiment. Ah, you have returned. How are you feeling? More confident than ever. You must test the cure on me. Alka, please. I'm not making this decision in haste, nor do I take it lightly. Truth be told, I'm terrified. But I need to do this. Serenia agreed. It must be me. Yes, I must admit your reasoning is sound. I appreciate that you worry for me, Alka. It means more than you know, but this is my duty. My battle to fight. You can trust me to meet this foe with all I have. I vow not to quit the field until the bitter end. But if a time comes when I'm no longer myself, I need to know that my fate is in good hands. In your hands. As you wish. I will be at your side as any true mariner would. But know that I fully expect you to seize victory, come hell or high water. I will. Thank you, Alka. Very well. If the both of you are resolved, I will abide by Setoto's decision. But before we begin, I must explain how the process is meant to work. First, Setoto will drink the compound I devised. This should destabilize the ethereal composition of her body. Once she's done so, Alka-Seltzer, you must stand at the ready with this, the gemstone retrieved from Underpaw. It shall serve as a focus. But level 70 quest. Serenia and Dilly will channel their restorative magic through the focus, amplifying it. In theory, being exposed to a sufficient volume of curative aether will encourage Setoto's own aether to attune to it and set itself to right. If all are clear on what must be done, let us commence. Ah, it burns! It burns! Serenia, delete now. Fight it, said Toto. You are truly radiant, said Toto, inside and out. I feel the breeze on my skin. Oh, it's wonderful. I was nearly certain that it would work, but to see the result is another matter entirely. I can scarce believe my eyes. To think after all this time, the endless research, we have a cure for the Nymian plague. That Surito Carito even managed to devise such a thing is remarkable enough, but to see it succeed. Without Serenia's skill as a scholar, it never would have been possible. And Santoto, your kindness, your conviction, your strength of spirit, it inspires me to train with even greater fervor. That's so like him. He's still utterly oblivious to my feelings, I'm sure. It's alright though. I am never truly expected to have another chance at the life I once envisioned for myself. And now that I do, I intend to enjoy it. There's no need to rush through all the best parts. That goes for your vocation as well. I intend to relearn the scholarly art starting from the basics. And with my etheric balance restored, I should be able to summon Lilac properly. Someday we will be the salvation of those in need, I swear it. For the moment, however, I have much training to do if I'm to be fit for the Royal Marines. To that end, I'm off to find Alka. Having labored for so long, so fruitlessly, and then to see the cure realized at last, I find myself at a loss for words. I will need to monitor Sototo's condition for a time, of course, lest there be adverse effects that were not readily apparent. But this is progress, astounding progress, toward the day that we might see all Tonberries restored to their former selves. In the meanwhile, inexperienced in matters of the heart though they are, you needn't worry over much for those two. I have confidence that they will sort themselves out in due time. Fare you well, in whatever worlds your travels lead you to. And thank you. Flying colors. Knower of Twin Worlds is the title, huh? Well, that's cool. And that was the Scholar job quest for level 80. Quite a bit longer than the other ones from some of the other jobs. But that shall be this episode. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace and don't get lost.